Hello, welcome back to the James Rambin Reviews. I am back making videos after enjoying my time in Cancun, Mexico with my family. You can go and check all of that out on my YouTube page where I did the community tab post, showed you a few videos, a few photos. I didn't want to show too much about the holiday because I am not a holiday travel channel. All I am is just a movie reviewer kind of thing. But I thought I'd just give you a few little things so you can kind of get the idea, where I am and enjoying myself. So there definitely is all of that. So today for you, I have a review of Joker Folie, Deux, the 2024 sequel to Joker 2019, or the movie just called Joker, but it came out in 2019. And so what I will say here is that I watched this film on the plane, and I watched this film on the plane because it was right there, right in front of me. It was like moments after I was just listening to music that I liked on the plane and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to turn this movie on and see what it's all about. I obviously know about what happened with this movie, how there was a lot of drama about how, this movie, it was a musical. It took a really big swing, a really big different contrast from the first movie where people just did not like it. Stuff like that, people walking out. The movie was barely in the cinema for a month, I think. So there's a lot of crazy stuff happened with this movie. So if you want to know, right, this movie, I will probably mention some spoilers in this movie review, but what you need to know about the first film is that it's like psychological, really, mentally full-on type of film where Joaquin Phoenix plays the Joker, and it is like this kind of character study where he's slowly build up the character and then he turns into the crazy man and he kills people on the train and stuff like that. And I did watch the first movie about a year ago because I wanted to get the understanding of the movie before I went to see the second one. Second one just didn't really be in the cinema for that long, so my memory of the first movie kind of fell away again. But this movie helped me remember the film because it answers the questions of the first movie sort of thing. So that was kind of like, oh, alright, fair enough, I guess. And so there was all of that. And so this movie is a follow-on from what happened in the first movie, but then you've got Lady Gaga plays Harley Quinn. The movie's on for 2 hours and 20 minutes, I want to say. And what I'm going to say right now is that if you saw like the thumbnail of the video, like the picture and things, I kind of sit like this with the movie, like the thumb in the middle. There are moments in here that are actually decent in this movie, but I also understand why people just didn't like it either. So what I will say first is the filmmaking, the way the movie's shot, with how clear it is at night, and how they'll go onto the stage, right, they'll do the song, and then they'll kind of cut back a bit, and then they'll get more of Arthur Fleck's storyline developed. So there is things like that I do enjoy about the movie. How you can actually feel the music throughout the scenes as well. I like that, how when you hear the music you can hear it. It's not horrible singing. Like Joaquin Phoenix is actually decent as a singer in this movie because he's just a really good actor in general. Like he was in The Gladiator as, that really good villain in other movies. Like he did what he could in Eddington as well, so he's not a bad actor. So seeing him in this movie and how he just replicates what he done in the first movie, I do enjoy that. And I remembered that any time that Joaquin Phoenix laughs as the Joker, it's actually him crying because he has like schizophrenia or whatever. So I try to not like laugh like at the movie because it's not made for that. It's just his condition. So there was a couple of times I was like, oh god, I thought I was gonna cry at some points because it was really heavy, and especially for a movie on the plane, this is probably one of the strangest choices I chose. But anyway, there definitely was that. So there was moments throughout the film where I enjoyed it, I appreciated what it was going for. Then it just felt like there's really big moments in this movie where it's a giant court case and there's just people talking and moving around, and then he's just trying to find the answers to the questions of the first movie. So it kind of feels like it's repeating itself a few times in here. And I did enjoy Lady Gaga and how there was like the scene in the movie where like they have them going into the prison and they just hated everyone and they just started the fire and they jumped out. Like, see if there was more moments of that, You know, that would have been cool how they would have expanded upon how Harley Quinn and the Joker were a crazy love affair type of thing, where it wasn't a perfect relationship but they could showcase it more. But I guess because of the way the way they filmed it, or the behind the scenes of how the crew did it all, you couldn't really see Lady Gaga in the scenes that much. She was kind of just made as a gimmick, like, hey, I'm just gonna be here to sing for you, and that's it, really. You definitely feel that when you also start to understand the fact that as you watch the movie, right, as you keep watching the movie as it keeps going on, the whole thing about this singing, you realise in a minute, you're just like, it's a fantasy dreamland where, Joaquin Phoenix, he has the songs in his head, and it's like, yeah, I understand what it's going for, but it's like, is that really something that everyone would like? Because I like the songs, don't get me wrong, and there's some, like, the acting and how Joaquin Phoenix does it all, there is all of that, and then you step back a minute and you hear the dialogue and people talking in the movie. It's like, it's all in his head, and he's still in the prison, he sleeps, and then he's dreaming about the song, and he sleeps, and then he dreams about the prison. Like, it's kind of like that kind of movie, and you're just like, what the hell? Like, I'm watching a film that's trying to be big, bold, and big and bold and things, and then it turns into things that's just simple. Like, it's a really strange way to make a movie, and I will say, yeah, that is my review of Joker Folie Deux. I probably give it about a 5 out of 10. I gave it a bit of time to process after watching it on the flight back from Mexico and things like that, but yeah, this movie, I mean, it wasn't the movie I was expecting to review for the channel here or anything coming back from my holiday, but I watched it anyway. I didn't mind the film, but I'm not going to deny that the movie, it does have things that people were quite right about, with how everything, how it all turns out, and how he's like, it's in his head. Like, if it had more to it, like more of a storyline, then I probably would have been more interested in what was going on. But there was a point throughout the film where I was close to falling asleep, and I was like, I'm not really missing a lot here. And then it ends where, like, he jumps out of the prison, and then, like, it blows up, and then he sees another version of himself, and then he ends up walking up to the stairs. You hear, that's life, that's what all the people say, all of that stuff. Shot down in heaven and shot down in May, brought back in June, all of that king, whatever that song is. But then he walks up to the stairwell up, like, in the city where he was in the first movie, and he just sees Lady Gaga there, and it's like, I don't love you, Joker. And I don't even remember, like, things like that in the film. There's a lot of things you can pick out about the movie, but that's how I felt about it. There was also, like, a scene where Tim Dillon shows up as a cameo. Yeah, okay, this is my review of the Joker Folie Deux. This is the best way I could describe everything. I had to kind of, go a bit deeper and explain everything, because it is a lot to take in. And so that is my review of the film. I hope you enjoyed this review, and stay tuned for more like this one. So yeah, that is my first review back from my, interesting, kind of fun trip with my family. So yeah, stay tuned for more reviews, and we'll be back for more on the James Ramblin' Reviews. Bye.